just review finding the surface area. Okay, so just surface area review of the main three shapes. Start by drawing the rectangular face, then draw 3 lines going backwards, approximately same length. Okay. Then all you need to do is connect them by going down. Okay, so in red, these will be the last lines you draw. Okay. Put on your dimensions, 3, 8, and 2, and it is in centimeters. Okay. So what you can do is just put down surface area review. Okay. Once you have that drawn, find the surface area. Go ahead. Okay. You can treat it like a quiz if you want, although it's not. It's just notes. But treat it like it is a quiz. Okay, 92 centimeters squared. All right, you should have 2 of every type of rectangle. So 3 by 8, 2 by 8, and then on the front face you'll have 3 by 2. Okay. How many people got that? Hands up. Or in the process of getting that? Okay, good, good. Any questions? Okay, so surface area of the cylinders, the formula, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. And the formula means 2 circles plus the barrel. Okay. Now to draw the cylinder, what you're going to do is draw a circle on the top. Draw 2 lines going down, connect it with an arc, and then you can do a dashed half a circle or half arc on the back. Okay? Then you can label it with your radius and your height. Okay? All right. Formula substitute solve. Go ahead, find the surface area. Exact same one? Good, do it again. Don't start looking for it. It's in your booklet? Yeah, no, this is review notes. Yeah. Okay, so this isn't new stuff, we're just reviewing it to get a bit more practice. Just tell me how many pi's there are, I don't want the decimal. Okay. $33? 66 pi. Okay, so add them up. Any questions? Thumbs up, down in the middle? All right, perfect. Going on then, last shape that we looked at, we have a right triangular prism. You'll notice this is very similar to the question that was on your quiz. Okay, so keep, all right, I'm not going to say anything else. Find the surface area. This is just a reminder. You don't have to write it down. Okay, but what I just underlined is a reminder. You don't have to write that down. Find the surface area. Don't look in your quiz unless you need help. Go for it. It is a slightly different view again. Yep. Sorry, I forgot you guys had to drink. So it'll be 132 feet squared. Okay. So that's a good to be able to look at work and see if it's correct or not. Watch your multiplications, what's added. We do a lot of that in grade 10. Grade 9 we should do more, but unfortunately we don't. Okay. Good. Any questions? And so what we do with this shape is we break it down. Okay. So this shape can break into two separate shapes. And what we're going to do is find the area of the shapes as if they're separated. Okay. And then we can subtract or overlap. So let's start. Find the area of the prisms as if they were separated. So find here the area of the rectangular prism and find the surface area of the triangular prism. Okay, go ahead and do that now. Go, find the surface area as if they're separated. This three-dimensional object right here, and we separate into two similar shapes. Okay, we found the surface area of those shapes as if they're separated, and now we're going to talk about the overlap. So what shapes are overlapped or covered when we put them together? Be specific. Jamie.
The bottom of the triangle and the top of it.
Exactly. Okay, so let's write that down. Bottom of the triangular prism, just put TRI, triangular prism. And top of the rectangular prism, ERECT dot. Okay. And so what exactly is that equal? 2 rectangles. Okay. Now we have to make sure we got the right dimensions. So what are the dimensions? 4 times 3? 5 times 3? 6 times 3? There's not even 5 on there. Yeah, 8 times 3. Okay, so it's this rectangle right here, 8 times 3. Or 3 times 8, doesn't matter. So area is 3 times 8. And what else should we do? Times it by 2, because there's 2 of them. Okay, so there's 48. So then I'll ask the question, what's the total surface area? Add the shapes together. And what should we do with the overlap? Good. Okay, so it's a really very logical way to do it, step by step, keeping it simple. Okay. Final answer, 208. What are our units? Centimeters, so it would be centimeters squared. Okay. Now this shape was completely overlapped. Okay, completely overlapped. Our next shape isn't. So now it's like a cake. Okay, but it's not a cake. We're going to say it's 2 cylinders. We have to find the surface area. So we want to answer in terms of pi. Our final answer will have something pi. Okay, should work out pretty nice. All right. Find the surface area of the top cylinder. Go for it. As if they're separated. Okay, as if separate. Start by the formula. 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. Okay. I just showed the optional step there. I just wanted you to see, the 7 squared is 49. Okay, and then I multiply by 2. It's important to square that first. Okay, so some of you, the last question, may be wondering what's going on. Just want to point that out. Square it first, then times it by 2. How many people got 168 pi? Hands up. Awesome. You working on the second one already? If not, get started right now, okay? If you have any questions about the cylinder, please ask. Yep. Oh yeah, I didn't double it. Thanks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. How many circles? Yeah. I did that same, right? You know why I love using pi? So right here on the diagram, this is what's touching the area, the circle on the top cylinder.
Okay, so then you would just find the area of that and then subtract it by the
Twice the area of it, right?
twice the area.
Yeah, and subtract it from the two totals.
Okay.
Okay. Now, one thing that's important to point out here, algebra-wise, we haven't done a ton of algebra, but notice how each term, right? These are terms. Each of them have a pi in it. That's what allows us to get a total number of pi's. If we had something like this, say you had like a rectangle, and say you had like 20 plus 13 pi minus 2 pi, you could not go 20 plus 13 is 33 pi minus 2 pi. You couldn't actually put these together because there's no pi in front of the 20. Okay, and that's why when you have shapes other than circles or cylinders, if you have two different shapes, you've got to go to a decimal. Only if you have two cylinders or circles can you use an answer in pi. Otherwise, if it's a number without pi, we're looking for decimals. Okay, because you cannot add those together. All right, so watch out for that. I'm giving you the warning because I know I see that. You cannot add those up. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is do a little bit more of a challenging shape. What we have here is a barn. Okay, good old barn. What shapes have we got? Half cylinder and rectangle. Now this is applying to kind of real life situation. We want to pretend that we're going to paint the barn, and we are painting the roof, which is a little weird. What wouldn't we paint? We'll pretend that we are, because you usually do paint doors, not the same color, but what would we paint in the barn? Yeah, the top of the rectangular prism, right? The window. Yeah, maybe it's just a design though. You're thinking that. We're thinking something different though. Meaty? Yeah, the bottom. Usually it'll paint the floors of a barn. Okay. And anything else? Sorry, say it. Yeah, right. Like with the part of the cylinder that's cut, that's another rectangle. We wouldn't calculate that. So for this one, I kind of do it a little slightly different. Okay. So let's start with A. What shapes have we got? Write that down. Half a cylinder. And kind of like a rectangular prism. And what we should put down here is sort of. Because we talked about the top and the bottom not being counted. Okay? So let's start with B. B should be easy. Right? That half a cylinder, let's find the surface area of that. So what I want you to do is find a total cylinder. Okay? Just pretend it's a normal cylinder. And what do you think we'll have to do at the very end? You guys have done this before, haven't you? Okay, go for it. Find the surface area of a total cylinder. This one's not going to be as nice as I'd like it to be, but it should still work out. Okay, so find the surface area of the bottom prism, but don't include sides not needed. What should we do here? What is needed? Taylor?
The two sides of the barn and then the back and the front.
Right. So we have a right and a left, which is 12 times 20, and then times 2. And we have a front and a back. We wouldn't include top or the bottom. 15 times 20 times 2. Okay. Oh, sorry, that's not right. 15 times 12, thank you. 15 times 12. So we're more focusing on painting the outside of the barn. See? Okay, do we need any subtractions here? Do we need to subtract anything? Jamie?
Well, how do you figure out the bottom of the or not the not the prism? How do you figure out the bottom of the cylinder?
Well,
Like, how do you take rid of the overlap though?
what we're doing here is we're doing it slightly different, Jamie,
Okay.
in the sense that we're ignoring it. The reason why is because it's overlapped already, so we don't need to calculate it, because if you cut the prism and the cylinder in half, like think about a can of soup. If you cut that can in half, do you have to include it? Because it's not there, right? Okay, because the can's hollow. The cylinder's hollow. Okay. Good. And because it's touching, it's excluded. So for a total surface area, it's going to be 840 plus 206 point.
That's high though. You can't have that.
Yes, you can. What are you going to need to do? Yeah, so you're going to have to multiply this
But you have to subtract.
and then add.
I have to subtract the base of the cylinder off of the total area of the cylinder
Why?
because it's not getting taken.
Have we? Is that included anywhere in the calculations though?
No.
So that's why we don't subtract. Okay. Okay. Go to your calculator. So we're just going to do a calculator practice now. 840 plus 206.25 times pi button. Press equals to complete the calculation. 1487.95. Good. And that's going to be meters squared.
I just made it work.
Okay.